Naila, why is English language important to learn?
This is because English language is an international language and is widely followed and understood by people across the world.
I want to learn this language.
To learn every language, there are some skills to develop. Follow this class to learn these skills.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to our viewers and the class. We welcome you once again on MTA Africa for our program English Language for Junior High School. Today we have lesson 9. We want all of us to sit, get relaxed and follow the lesson through. Class, I welcome you to the program. The topic for today is going to be on past perfect and past perfect continuous. We shall handle one and then the other. But before we begin, let's look at the objectives for our lesson. We aim that at the end of the lesson, you will be able to state the forms of verb needed to construct past perfect. 2, we should be able to state the forms of verb needed to construct past perfect continuous. 3, we should be able to identify past perfect and past perfect continuous in text. And then 4, we should be able to construct sentences using the past perfect. The same way too, we should also be able to construct sentences using the past perfect continuous. The first one we shall be looking at is the past perfect. To construct a sentence in this tense, that is the past perfect, use the verb forms. And the following verb form is what we need. The verb in the VIN ED, which you have studied already. It shouldn't be difficult for anyone who has been following the program to be able to give us examples of verbs within the VIN ED column. Before I project what we have, let me have examples of verbs that fall within the VIN ED form from the class. Yes, Josefa?
Danced.
Come again.
Danced.
Spell your word. Yes?
DANCED.
Okay, good. Danced. So it's a pronunciation. Danced. Please say it again.
Danced.
Good. Yes, Orchard.
Bob.
Please spell.
WALKED.
Good. Nazir.
Talked.
Spell it.
TALKED.
And then our last lady.
Watched.
Please spell the word.
WATCHED.
Good. These are verbs that are in the ED forms. Good. Examples include what I shall highlight. Had is in the ED form. Was is also in the ED form. Or were. These 3 are in the past. That's the first form of verb you need. So to construct any sentence in past perfect, you will need had, or was, or were. Either of them. And then you also need a verb in the VIN E form, VIN EN form. A verb in the VIN EF form. That is the perfect form of our verb. Examples of verbs in the perfect form. Yes, let me start with Nazir.
Taking.
Spell it, please.
TAKEN.
Good. Salma. Please spell. Orchard.
Eating. EAT. EN.
Josefa. Spell it. Good. While we have these to be in the past, these are in the perfect form. Good. So when we have these two forms of our verb, a verb in the perfect form, this, the VIN EN, and a verb in the past, together, we have our past perfect. Examples like this, as we have studied, the eaten perfect, sat, spread, written, torn, broken. Let's take note of this verb, spread. It's a verb that doesn't change its form throughout. Spread doesn't change its form throughout. The other day we mentioned other verbs as well. Good. So when we have the two now put together, either had plus eaten, we'll have had eaten, had sat, had spread, had written, had torn, had taken. The same way, we could also have other combinations for was and were. So have example, was sent, were beaten, had written, had torn, had spread. So this is past perfect. So we say past perfect. This is past, this is perfect. Past perfect. Past perfect. In that order. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. We didn't use danced plus any other perfect and the others. So take note. To construct a past perfect tense, always you need had or was or were plus any other verb in the perfect form. So that's what we need to take note of. Let's construct a sentence in the past perfect form by combining the two forms we've identified up there. I'll take two sentences from you and then we'll continue. Yes, if you are ready, put up your hand and then you give me your sentence. Yes, Nazir.
The boys were beaten by the teacher.
Good. So where is our tense? The past perfect. Yes, Alma.
Were beaten.
Good. So we have this. Were beaten. Were past. Beaten. Perfect. Good. Then another one. Yes, Josefa.
She was sent by her mother.
So where is our tense? Orchard?
Was sent.
Good. So we have past perfect. Good. So let's have them here. Examples. She had made a grave mistake by such act. So our tense is the colored one. Had, past, made, perfect. Had made. We were sent away as they wanted it that way. Were sent. Were past, sent, perfect. The news of the case had spread like wildfire during Harmattan. Had is past, spread, perfect, so had spread. Good. When we look at example 2, we use were because of the subject. The subject is in the plural, we. If we have the subject to be singular, we would use was. Good. Any question? Okay, let's construct a sentence each using had, was, and were with any other perfect verb. Please don't use the examples I've used here. Use different verbs. What I'm saying is that construct a sentence using had plus any perfect form of a verb you know, the same way you do for was and were. So I would expect 3 sentences. Don't use any of the verbs here. Don't use any that I have in the examples in my sentences. Viewers at home, we also expect you to take part in the exercise. When you are done, show it to someone to look through for you. I'm sure you should be done by now. I'll take your sentences so that for the benefit of those at home, they will know what you wrote. They also use it as a guide to find out whether what they did either is correct or wrong. Yes, let me pick your first sentences. Yes, Nazir, read your sentence. Read the first one.
The students had taken the books.
Please identify the past perfect from your sentence.
Had taken.
That's good. Salma, read your sentence that doesn't contain had.
We were taken out of the English class.
Good. So your past perfect?
Were taken.
Good. We, plural subject, were, plural verb. Good. Yes. Orchard, read your sentence that doesn't have were and had.
The boy was given the money by a stranger.
Mm-hmm.
The money by a stranger.
Was given the money or money.
Money.
Is that it? Indicate your tense for us.
Was given.
That's good. So, yes, Josefa, read one of your sentences for us.
He was taken home by my uncle.
Please, your tense.
Was taken.
That is good. So here we have he, singular subject, was, singular verb. The boy, singular subject, was, singular verb. That's good. So, viewers at home, I hope you also had it right. If you are not sure, just let someone cross-check it for you. And if you are wrong, please try to follow up the lesson once more so that you'll be able to understand. We'll move on to the next topic. In our objective, we said we were going to look at past perfect and then past perfect continuous. So we are looking at the second aspect of that objective. The verb forms needed for this past perfect continuous include 1. The verb in the ed form, as in had. You will need had. You also need the verb in the vin en form, which is the past participle of to be. We've mentioned this, the participle of to be. And what is that? You know, you put up your hand, yes? The participle form of to be, the verb to be is what? We looked at it. Yes.
Was.
No. Yes, Nazir?
Been.
Good, been. Please spell it.
B-E.
Yes, go ahead.
B-E-E-N.
Good. B-E-E-N. Bin. Don't forget this. You would always need this verb anytime it comes to perfect tense. You'd always need it. And don't forget it. And that is it. So you will need this as well. And then you will need a verb in this form. The VIN ing form of our verb, which is the progressive. Examples: eating, boasting, going, sleeping, clapping, dancing. So when we combine the two, and our first one, that is if we combine A, B, C, these three verbs, we have this: had been dancing, had been learning, had been thinking. So had, past, been, perfect, dancing, continuous. Past, perfect, continuous. Past, perfect, continuous. Past, perfect, continuous. Do we follow?
Yes.
Good. Let's give verb phrases. All these we say they are verb phrases. So let's give verb phrases in this form, one after the other. Let me start from Josefa.
Had been singing.
Orchard?
Had been eating.
Yes.
Had been writing.
Come again, please.
Had been writing.
And then Nazir.
Had been teaching.
Good. Let's have them in sentences. We have: she had been boasting about her beauty and looks. So here we have past perfect continuous. Past perfect continuous. The man had been working very hard to feed every member of his family. So we have here the colored ink, past perfect continuous. Then 3, lawyers had been calm. That is not in the continuous form. The last one here is not in the continuous form. So take note. I want you to change it for me. Lawyers had been calm over their plight for all these years. This is where our tense is actually past perfect. Had been. That is where actually the tense is coming from. So this is just in the past perfect form. I want us here in class, we change this sentence into past perfect continuous. You can ignore calm. You can ignore calm and substitute in any other verb that will be suitable in the continuous form for us. But maintain the string of the sentence for me. I want you to maintain lawyers, maintain the had, maintain been. You can change this and maintain the rest for us. This is brought to test your... Yes, Orchard?
Lawyers had been boasting over their plight for all this year.
Okay, but you have borrowed my verb. Pick yours, please. Come out with your own. They can't boast over their plight. Yes, that's why I said keep note, take note of the string. Yes, Josefa.
Lawyers had been thinking over their plight for all these years.
Okay, that is good. So we can easily change the calm into what? Thinking. That's good. So we are changing the calm on our slide to thinking, and then it will give us past perfect what? continuous. Good. Then we have this. The security officers had been dedicating their lives to the defense of the country. Good. So we have past perfect continuous. Past perfect continuous. Any question? In constructing sentences in the past perfect continuous.
Can it come in a question form?
Yes. These can be framed in objectives. In fact, when you pick the past questions of the Basic Education Certificate Examination, BEC past questions, you'll see examples of these. The objective test, the paper 1, is made of sections. We have about 4 sections, section A to D. The section A, those of you in the basic school, pick the past question from WAEC for basic school and take a look at it. The recent one from 2007. If you take a good look at it, you realize that you have about 15 questions. In fact, not about, you have 15 questions in section A. And that area is mostly made of questions around this side. So you see them. So from here, you can go and pick any of them. You will see the tenses, questions falling within the tenses. So yes, there are questions like that, mostly in objectives. For BEC, that comes. Every year it comes. You see questions coming under that area. So you need to understand the tenses and know the combinations. It's very important. Know the combinations, how they are combined. Good. Any other question? Yes, Nazir?
Please, the verbs in the ED form, is it only hard that you can use?
Yeah, in constructing the past perfect, for simplicity, I always use hard for you. And that is the most commonest for your level. There are instances where other verbs in the past can be used. In fact, I have exercise where, when it comes to past perfect, it is not hard. It will come in the exercises, but mostly at your level, we mostly see in your text the past perfect, and especially in this string, when it comes to past perfect continuous, like this, or present perfect continuous. Past perfect continuous mostly, we see the verb in the VN-ED form being hard, most often. Yes. So that's a very good clue. You should have it in mind at all times. However, there are instances you don't have hard. There are few instances you can construct your sentence, which is likely to be in the past perfect without probably hard. Right? Or was. But in most cases, as you said, yes. So for your level, I'll restrict you to say yes. In most cases, that's what you have. Let me say 90% of text within your level will always have the past perfect to be hard, beginning with hard, right? Good. Any other question? Okay, so if there's no question, I'll give you an assignment, and the assignment is that you go and practice over all that we have learned so far. We are left with only the last lesson to finish our discussion on tenses as far as the present and the past tenses are concerned. So go and revise everything you have learned so far. Learners at home, we are most grateful for your attention and your participation in the class. We hope to see you again for our next lesson on MTA Africa, English Language for Junior High School. Until then, we say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.